Hello, hello, and welcome to the first official first show, Mayhem on the mic. I am your host, Sophia.
And my name is Kim.
And we're here to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the nitty-gritty, and all the downright dirty details of what it takes to balance your life as a partner, professional, and a parent.
Pretty much.
So here we go.
All right, well, let's get talking and getting to know everybody out there. So my name is Kim once again. A little bit about me, so we all get to know each other a little bit more personal. Mm-hmm. I'm a mom / stepmom as well. I'm a fiance, aspiring small business owner, team assistant manager in the medical field. And here we are. What about you, Soph?
Yeah, so obviously the mom role is a big deal here. I'm like, that's my full-time job. So
Yeah.
I wish.
Plus overtime
even that is like, moms who are like full-time moms, I commend you because it is.
I don't know how
it's
you
a
do
tough
it.
job. It's a tough job to just be at home, stay at home
moms
and do
is
all
hard.
of that. But no, that's not my only job. So I'm a mom. I am a small business owner. We are podcasters.
Officially podcasters.
I used to coach BAL. I went on hiatus from coaching. My kids were sick of me coaching. And now I'm back all of a sudden. I was kind of thrown into coaching my daughter's flag football team. So
oh boy,
stay tuned for that. That should be fun.
I did see that. You posted that. And I'm like, what is happening here? I'm like, okay.
I'm like, whenever there's someone needs to fill a role, I'm like, I can do that.
I kind of have that bad habit too. I take on too much on my plate sometimes. Yeah. And especially with the kids in sports, I'm like, I'll be that person. I'll be that mom. I'm the team mom. I'm the manager.
Like, you don't have enough to do.
At all.
I'm like, how did I even shower today?
Really?
Oh,
how did we get to practice on time?
Life was lifing today. I texted you and we were on our way. Well, you were on your way here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, life is lifing on me today, and I'll be there in a minute.
That's kind of our daily routine, though. Yeah. As much as we try to be on schedule, it just never ever works out.
I mean, it does. You just have to plan, lie to yourself.
Okay. We did plan. So we were on track this morning, and then it went to shit.
I kid you not, I put things in my phone. Like, if I'm going to plan something, I have an appointment or something in a month, I put it in my calendar an hour or 30 minutes ahead of time. And then by the time the appointment comes, I forget what time it actually is. So I was going to a training course last weekend, drove to Jersey. I'm like, oh my God, I was sweating. I was running late. I'm like, I'm always running late. I'm like, I can't even do it. I call my coworker who's meeting me at the thing, and I'm like, I'm running late, blah, blah, blah. She's like, all right, we'll probably get there around the same time. I get there. What I think is 30 minutes late, I was on time.
Look at you.
Because I tricked myself a month in advance. I'm like, this is the trick.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Every clock in my house, even in my car, is 15, 20 minutes fast.
You got to do it.
Just so I can think that I'm running late and I'm not.
And I do it all the time. It works.
It does work.
If you're someone who's constantly running late, trick yourself. Trick yourself a month in advance. 30 minutes, change all the appointments, everything. Tell people to invite you 30 minutes, an hour in advance. You're going to make it on time. You'll be early. You're going to love that new life for yourself, I promise. I'm like, when people are like, oh my God, Sophia, you're on time. I'm like, yeah,
I must say.
I did that just for you.
Well, today, I was 5 minutes late, but for me, that's on time. And I was so proud of myself.
All the military people hate us right now because military people are early. If you have to be 15 minutes early, right? That's military people.
Yeah, definitely.
Love them. They hate me, but I love you guys. So I think that this is kind of how this whole vibe even started.
Yes.
It's just knowing who we are and finding out so we can kind of take it to how we met initially. It's so funny because I'm sitting here writing all these notes all right, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, oh, when we met.
We're making it harder for ourselves and we're stressing ourselves out.
I met you 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been more. Yeah.
3 years, 4 years ago.
3, yeah.
I don't know, but I was in shock because I was like, what? I haven't known her my whole life?
I know.
What is going on?
It does feel longer than 3 years. Definitely has. We've been through a lot.
It's such a short amount of time.
In 3 years, we've been through a lifetime.
Seriously.
Of ups and downs.
I mean,
But hey,
with what, 7 children between the 2 of us?
yeah, between the both of us. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds like a lot of kids.
It's so fun,
But it's so fun. At the end of the day, they're all very comical in their own way.
Oh my God, yeah.
And they're all quite the experience. And they all play sports.
One day we'll talk about New Year's.
Oh yeah, New Year's was
we
eventful.
attempted to celebrate New Year's together. That was, oh my God, that was insane. I mean, I learned that I need to stock Benadryl in my house because all of her children are allergic to dogs.
No, not all of my children, just my younger one, who's 3 going on 30. But yeah, he's like, I have to put him like in a wrapping.
Yeah.
I don't know, wrapping paper, bubble.
We ended the night real quick with an allergic reaction.
Actually, it wasn't even him. I take that back.
It was the other one.
Yeah, it was the other one. I'm sorry, baby. That was not you this
2
time.
out of the 4 are allergic to my dogs.
But, well, the baby really isn't. It's only when she licks him.
He's allergic. He's allergic. So, yeah, I think that that's the greatest dynamic between us.
Yeah.
We come from such different backgrounds.
Yet so common.
But we've gone through so many similar experiences.
Yeah.
And we still live very similar lives. And that's what kind of like makes this great because it's a lot of women, even men, are dealing with the same stuff that we're dealing with when it comes to like managing this balance between our kids, our professional life, our relationships, like finding that perfect balance. And it's a freaking task.
It's hard.
It's a task.
It's exhausting sometimes.
And it literally, it takes time to make time.
Right.
And
absolutely,
like you have to be so diligent and like really put in that effort. Like,
you know, be mindful and considerate also.
Yeah. A lot of people think like, oh, life is just, it's just going to go. Oh, I'm going to be so in love with my partner all the time. Like, no.
It's not going to all be peaches and cream.
It's not. It's not always butterflies and rainbows, like I love to say.
And
we have our rainy days.
Listen,
but
at the beginning of everything's always wonderful, right?
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. It's not going to always be like that. And that's actually the reality of what it should be.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever perfect. If we were perfect, then this would be a very different world.
Getting through the tough times, even like tough times with my kids has drawn them so much closer to me. Tough times with my partner has made us so much stronger. Even in my work life. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It applies to everything.
When I go through those rough roads at work and I have days where I'm like, did I choose the right thing?
Yeah, you second guess yourself.
And then
sometimes.
I come out on top and I'm like, damn, this is what it's about. Like, we've made it. I made the right choice. Like, I didn't waste my life on this passion. So, that being said, I think that is like a big reason, like the gateway to how we even made it here.
Right. How we made it here, what brought us closer. Let's see, to how we even became friends. It kind of just still intertwines everything. We have a lot of everything going on, same schedule, same life, same, and like vibe, same aspirations. And, as friends, we get along, we click. It's the foundation of that.
I think even like being able to click, women,
right.
Women are tough. Like, we got to be easier with each other. We have to be less like, I don't know.
On yourself. Women, like, don't be so hard on yourself.
Yes.
We're probably our own worst critic.
Don't take yourself so seriously. Yes, life is serious, but, it's
sometimes
okay.
It's
like,
okay.
How we met pretty much, had been working in a medical office for a few years at that point, and I was somehow in charge of training all the new staff.
Yeah, that was her.
That was quite an experience for me, and I met so many people, so many women,
so many
trained many different type of women from so many different. I want to say cultures, but
I was gonna say ethnicity.
They were all Latinas.
Yeah, for the most. Because everyone in that office is.
Yeah, we worked for an office that only hired Latinas. You had to speak English and Spanish. On that note, my Spanish is not so good looking.
It's not so
good.
You got that real Puerto Rican.
Listen,
I would look at her like, what'd you just say?
No,
That's not how you say that.
The best part is when I did say something right.
I know.
But then like the patient was looking at me weird and I'm like, did I say that right?
I'm like, you did. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I'm like, okay, it's them, not me. But yeah, I think like training all of these different women from different countries, I learned so much about how, yes, we're all Latinas, but
yeah, we're all very different.
We're all so different.
Very different.
Where we come from, our like just the little intricacies of like how we're raised, and it really taught me to appreciate all the different dynamics of.
Oh, you appreciate me so.
I do.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
shut up. No, don't get sentimental on me. I'm emotional these days.
No, I can't. All right, we're good.
But yes, so she comes in for her interview, and
yeah, I remember that day.
They call me in to like meet you or something. Did they call me in to meet you?
No.
Mm-mm. They just brought you in to meet. They just brought me in.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did the interview, and then on my first day, Sophie again was not on time. And
first off, I am very open and honest about my ability to make it places, okay?
Sophie was not on time to train me,
I have never, ever been fired from a job because I was late. Why? Because I do my job while I'm there.
You did.
And I will stay late, too. Like, all right.
You did.
If I come 10 minutes late, I'm going to stay like an extra 20 minutes after because I'm going to make up for that 10 minutes.
I'm a big believer on that, too.
You're not going to be able to say anything to me, okay?
I'm the same way too.
On that note, go ahead, continue. Disclaimer, continue.
But she arrived at some point, and then we introduced ourselves and we hung out all day. Let me just say, she taught me what she needed to teach me for me to survive, because the next day I was rolling dolo the whole time. And I'm like, I kept looking back and I'm like, Sophie, where are you, Sophia? And she's like, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're good. I'm like, but I'm really not. I don't even know what's happening. Like, what do I do here? And she's like, you're good. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Just look over there. Do your notes. And I'm like, okay, so this is how we're going to do things.
I was legit so overworked.
You were. You definitely were. And I must say that then at some point, throughout the years, whatever, we worked together, and we always, even work-wise, our work ethic was always very the same.
Yeah.
So, we became kind of like a power team, and then, that kind of caused a lot of different opinions.
No, but that's what I'm talking about. That's what it comes down to, like, women. Like, it's okay to see other women shine. And I feel like if you're in a workplace and you see someone, another woman, like, elevating.
Yeah.
Like, let's support that. Like, let's support one another because we're all different.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay for you to be good at one thing and me to be good at another.
Right, because my weakness could be your strength.
Let's work together and let's all be able to rise together. Like, I think that that's so important. And unfortunately, a lot of women are uncomfortable around other women who are kind of excelling in different ways. And I think that we need to, like, as a community, really, like, cut that shit out.
Yeah.
Like, stop being uncomfortable when somebody else is doing well because
don't be a hater. Don't be a low-key hater.
And I know that I feel like that is a part of emotional intelligence, a part of being self-aware and wanting to, like, progress and grow. And it's not always easy because sometimes we get down on ourselves. But I'm definitely, like, I'm here to encourage all of that. Like, like I said, I am not a she-woman man-hater, but women, we need to support each other. We definitely, we need to do better,
especially in today's world and today's society.
Yeah. I even say, like, I tell people all the time, like, my son on his little flag football team, like, they had a little issue. And I was telling, one of the moms, I'm like, we're minorities. There's already enough people against us. We don't need to be against each other.
Let's keep adding.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Like, let's not do that. Let's support one another and teach the younger generation coming in that.
Teach our kids something different. Yeah. Let's change the cycle, change that.
Absolutely.
Change the dynamic. But, besides that work experience with her, I mean, through those 2 years of working together, we got to know each other.
It was funny.
We shared stories little by little.
Oh, you have 3 kids?
About our kids.
Too.
Oh, they play sports? Oh, great. Soccer? Oh, my God. My oldest plays soccer, too. And then they graduated a year apart. So, like, little by little, just kind of realized. And then we started taking lunch together. And then we realized on our lunch breaks, right, this is what we did. We called our men on our lunch breaks faithfully.
Yeah.
Whether it was to wake them up.
As we're heating up our food, we're like,
AirPods
all
here.
Right, AirPods in. It's time to call the guys.
Yep.
And my my boyfriend at the time was working evenings.
Yes. So was my fiance.
Right. So
yes.
Same. So our lunch break was like when they would wake up. So we were like their alarm
clock.
And I was like, oh, I just got to call him to wake him up really quick. And then, and not that he really needed me to do that. Like, he was a grown man. He was doing that on his own.
He's a grown man too. But
for some reason, I assumed that responsibility on myself. And then we would call them. We would have our conversations. And then either if one of us got like a little annoyed with the conversation or we wanted to talk, we were like, right. Oh, we have to like, the chisme in the office. Okay, babe, I'm going to let you go. And then we would finish. So it was like half the break on the phone with the guys and then half the break.
Just us chit-chatting.
Yeah. And we learned a lot about one another and, even like things that we wanted to do, like go in different directions professionally.
Yeah, we would kind of just go to each other for advice, for opinions, and like, who do you know and what do you do? Like, so it was nice. It was a good girl talk and bonding because, sometimes working in an office with nothing but females, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's a lot of hormones. I was going to say it's a lot of hormones.
A lot of hormones. And
you may
if
not
you
click
don't
with everybody.
know, women, we sink. Okay.
Yes. It's very crazy, but it's animalistic. So true. But it's very true. So imagine in the office, all women, all these hormones at the same time.
Yes.
Every month.
Everybody
hated each other.
Ovulate and cycle at the same time.
Cannot.
It gets intense.
If one was cramping, we knew 2 days later the other one was going to cramp.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that time. Okay. All right.
The whole office hemorrhaging at the same time. Sorry, guys. That's explicit. But yes, it was definitely fun while it lasted. And then I was the first one to kind of like go on my way. And,
she left me for dead.
I'm sorry I did that to you, but I did do that to you. I kind of like
very
abruptly left. I did. And, but it was for good things, It
was for great things. And I was very happy for you. And I feel like I couldn't have been happier. I supported you 1,000%.
Yeah.
If anything, I think I kind of even told you just like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Like, why are you still here?
I was actually shocked at the support that came from all the girls in the office as I left and went on to a new venture. And it was great. And it's been great. It's been great.
Yeah. And then you left and then it became me. Yeah. Having to
be the overworked one.
Oh, yeah, I was that person, but
it was fun.
That was a learning experience in itself too. And you left with friends, or I don't want to say friends, but you left knowing people and getting to know a lot of even patients.
I still keep in contact with
some of them. I do
a lot of the girls from the office.
Even patients, you bump into them all the time. And I actually had one who drew my blood the other day, and I dealt with her through a whole pregnancy.
Oh, wow.
So it was so nice to see her. Yeah. And I was like, how's the baby? How's this? And she's like, oh, my God.
Work is crazy. You really do, like, meet people, like, forever people in your life. I mean, I have to say, like, there were moments where, like, I went through some tough moments at work, and people who I like never expected to like come through for me really came through.
Yeah.
I would say my best friends since I'm 14 years old, I met at work.
Wow.
I worked in a restaurant. I started working at this restaurant when I was 14 years old, and I remember the bartender. I mean, she is 20 years older than me, and I was 14.
Okay.
And to this day, she is one of my best friends. And she, for a long time, was one of the only happily married people I knew. And that was that right there was just like an amazing example for me. Because like I watched
exist.
Yeah, like I watched a lot of people struggle in relationships, and like here I had this this amazing woman. She was a career bartender.
Right.
She had a husband who was in a union, like, and they were just like so loving and beautiful together. And she is like one of my best friends to this day. And our circle is so unique.
I know,
it's so unique. Like we have one person is from London, another person is from Kenya, and someone from El Salvador, and then I'm here, my New Yorican self, and we're all different ages, and I think that's another part of like just supporting one another and like genuinely getting to know one another for who we are. We go on vacations together. For a long time, I was the only one that had kids.
Right, you did tell me that.
That was that was like super interesting for a long time.
Well, I feel like also
but
when
they were
you have
so
kids,
supportive.
when you have kids early, I feel like a lot of people now, have kids very later in life.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Latina thing or a Spanish thing where, they trying to teach you, don't have kids till you get married. And you have that. And then you have the other aspect of women having their kids such at an early age. Because it's like, that's just what.
I think culturally, it was a little bit more acceptable that we had children early in life.
Yes,
Obviously, it was never accepted.
It was never okay.
Trust me, it was not okay that I was pregnant.
But if it happened, then it was what it was.
Yes, and I think that our families are a little bit more supportive than maybe some other cultures. If they had found out that news. And which is something else that we have in common. We were both teen moms.
Yes.
Both found out we were pregnant at the same age. Wasn't that fun.
No.
But yeah, I think that work friends are beautiful.
They are.
Work friends are beautiful. The ones that really last.
Right.
And I have to say, you're one of those amazing friends that really
too.
lasted. So here we are. And you introduced me to your friend.
Yes.
Anna.
My friend Anna. We've been friends for over 20 years.
Yeah.
We met in 9th grade. In our school district at the time, 9th grade is the freshman center. So you have where all 4 middle schools of our school district come together as one.
Yeah.
Right. So we met and we actually ended up, and at that time, it's kind of when everybody kind of lets go of your middle school friendships because you meet all these other new students from all the other middle schools you didn't even know who they were.
I feel like 9th grade, a lot of kids start reinventing themselves.
Transitioning, and it's right.
Some go through puberty, some don't.
Yes, right. So we met in 9th grade. We were both cheerleaders, and then we kind of we met, we clicked, and here it is 20 years later.
Yeah.
Still the same friendship. And, and I feel like some people, and most commonly between friends, it's sometimes you go through phases in life, things happen. We lost contact for a little bit. But for whatever reason, I bumped into her at the library randomly. And she looked at me, I looked at her, and I was like, what? And literally we spoke, and it's like that time never even passed by. We picked up exactly where we left off. And it's a friendship that, I'll cherish forever. And she's a great human. And one of my best friends who's like my sister. And we've had varied experiences, like I said, through high school up and even to our adult life. We've been through ups and downs as well. In school, we were captains together for cheerleaders. And we're actually, here it is 20 years later, planning our high school reunion.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's good to see. And I'm happy to see sometimes, even friendships that are like ours, it's nice to see that they still exist. Because friendships are hard to keep. They're hard. They're also, you got to put effort into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have
to be understanding as you each grow and change.
Right.
And, through all the years, it's like.
You're not the same person I was
you go through things.
in high school. And, me having 3 kids, she doesn't have kids. She has her dogs, but she doesn't have kids. So people may look at it like, what can you guys possibly have in common?
Yeah.
But it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
And she's, my kids are her kids, so that's why she doesn't want kids. And that's okay.
Yeah.
She's
legit part of the reason. She is the reason why we're here right now.
Yeah. And thanks to her, right?
Yeah.
As, we're here. You met her, and
that, meeting her was like a scary day for me.
Right. It was for my birthday.
Honestly, it was scarier than meeting your partner. Because I was
she like, can be, yes. So she is like, I have my partner, right? But she's like my partner on my left side here.
There's something about that one. Okay. And I'm going to say majority of women, we have that one best friend that will go to town for you.
Yeah.
No matter what, there's that one friend that good, bad, no matter what's happening, you can call I got to pull a body really quick.
Yep.
And they're like, let me get the gloves. No matter what.
Right. And we've had incidents like that. Even I've been out, and it's I called her. I have had to walk out. I literally have had to walk out the club and be like, yo, this is happening. I'm letting you know ASAP, be right there. Okay, I'm waiting for you.
Even the really good moments, you have that one friend that you're like, damn, I got to call her and tell her or she's going to be right there, It's crazy, but I knew how important she was to you. I knew how close of a friend she was to you, and I knew like how close we were becoming as friends. And I got a little hint, you know, like she don't like none of my friends. She doesn't like any of my friends. I'm like, oh, I don't like her. You know, you guys are so protective of one another. And I think that's what it is. Like the love is just like so amazing. And I was like, I'm gonna win her over. and
by the end of the night.
But yeah,
we were all cool.
Yeah, I was like, she loves me.
No, and it's funny because we had the conversation afterwards, and she's like, you know what? She's like, I really was sketchy about meeting her, but I like her. I like Sophie. I'm like, she's great, right? I told her, I want her to
friends do this, okay?
I told her, I said, you're gonna meet, because she was like, who's coming to your birthday dinner? And I was like, you know, so and so and so and so, and Sophie, you know, the girl I've been telling you, she was like, oh. And I'm like, fix your face. Like, why the And I'm like, you're going to love her. Trust me. And she's like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I'm like, okay. And look,
we had a great time. We had a great time. And it's actually almost a year since I met her. And she has now launched her own podcast. Chick Chats with Anna.
Chick Chats with Anna. Check that out.
Check it out. Shameless plug for you. Love you. And we were on that show last week, just talking about launching this and like how this came to be. And I think it's like, it's so funny, you know, like we're going to go out to get, girls just go to dinner together. I'm like, yeah, we're going to be there. So, okay, again, I was late. And they're already like sitting at the table. Yes. Yeah. They're already sitting at the table and I'm walking
2 margaritas in already.
Yeah. And I sit down, I order my drink and they're like, so we have an idea. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what? And like,
we're doing a podcast.
We're doing a podcast.
She's like, what? Yeah, we're doing a podcast. And she's like, oh, okay.
Okay, what's it about?
And we're like, yeah. So that's how that how that came about. And from there, we've just kind of been brainstorming. And, you know, we have all these different ideas and this, that, and, you know, to think that the day is actually finally here. It was kind of surreal. Yeah. I even told you yesterday, I was like, oh my God, it's tomorrow. Like, it's here.
Yeah.
I was so off with, you know, with the kids and everything. Like, I didn't even think about the date, anything. And I'm like, this is actually happening.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I love it. And I can't wait. There's like so much that we talk about on a regular basis, on a day-to-day. Right. And we're just ready to like get it out here in the open. Because there's so many, not just women, but men that are also going through the same experiences that we 100%. Go through as parents, as professionals. And being able to just have a platform where you can come and be like, you know what? I went through this also, and this is what helped me.
Right.
Or I'm going through this. Who's been through this? How can we figure this out?
Yeah.
And I think it's just amazing to be here and be able to do this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, good times.
All right. So we're going to talk about how we came to decide what we were going to talk about and how explicit we were going to be.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. But we're going to take a
little break
and come back and get into it.
Yeah.
¡Wow! ¡Qué programación más rica! Por acá, por Latino Mixx.
Welcome back to Mayhem on the Mic. I'm Sophia.
And my name is Kim.
All right. So we left you off with pretty much out the brainstorming that
how we
started to go into getting here today.
Right. And what should we talk about? And
we have a very like real experience on how we like kind of came to
some of our
categorize our episodes here.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, well, we got to do this. So I'm very like, I can be very hyper sometimes.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, and I feel like it helps when I recognize it. Like, sorry guys, my ADHD is kicking today.
It and you admit
it. Yeah, like I'm kicking right now. Just give me a minute. I'll be all right.
Just look at her and I'm like, all right, you need a couple seconds.
A minute.
Let me know when you're ready.
And I pull it together. But one thing I have to say is like that hyper focus that I get when you have so many things going on. Like we both work full-time jobs. The kids,
we're very hands-on with our kids.
You know, the partnerships, the sports, and even trying to like balance having a social life. Also,
I was just gonna say
like
that, right?
It's so important.
Because I definitely be trying to like get some like girl time or
and
you want to go out for margarita, Taco Tuesday. I'm with it.
It's tough, and sometimes we literally only have an hour, and it's like, all right, I get out at 1. I can meet you at 1:30, but I gotta at 3:30. I gotta get so, and then we stick to that schedule.
We even tried it. I think the kids were at practice. Your daughter, and we were like, all right, we have an hour in between. Like, let's meet up, have an hour. And that's what I think was like the first outing that we actually had. I don't know if you remember.
Oh yeah. We went down to Main Street in Bayshore.
And changing times, and we literally. We thought we had more time than what we thought, but it didn't. And we ordered an appetizer, had a drink.
Our children stalked us the entire time. I think I had a soup. I had time for
you had a soup.
A drink and a soup.
Yeah, and then it's like, I got to go pick her up. And I'm like, bro, like, see, my phone's going off, my kids, and I'm like, I don't even see my phone. I don't know who's calling. I don't care.
Oh, my goodness.
Just let me be.
That was hectic. But that's the real life of like, that's the whole reason why we're here. Like, how do you balance all this shit?
And kids, when they play sports, it's a lot. And our kids are on travel teams.
Yes.
So it's not even like they play like, little PAL or like, they're on travel teams. It requires not only their dedication, but as a parent as well.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
I'm telling you, like parents who have children that play multiple sports and travel do not get enough credit.
Listen, my vacations are my tournaments.
We made a vacation.
It sounds so horrible.
Oh my God. We made a vacation out of the tournament.
Listen, you
last
have
year.
To. My oldest is 18. I know everyone thinks like that's crazy, but
my oldest is 20.
She's 20, but I started with him, I learned that this is how I have to take vacation now for quite some time of the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Right. Until they're fully grown. And I can't even say that because he's in college and he plays for college and I still travel to go see him play. But I'm just that kind of obsessed mom as well. Like I'm just going to go see my kid play. I love watching my kids play. But traveling, like I've had to learn, like, I had to give up the long weekends. Like everyone looks forward to Labor Day, Memorial Day. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Like, don't invite me. Don't even think of me. Like
Labor Day and Memorial Day, we're always at tournaments.
Yes. So
why do we do this, leagues? Why do you want to steal our vacation weekend to make us go sit on the field? I mean, I love it. I love watching my kids. Like there are moments, this may be crazy, but there are moments like when my kids do really, really good in a game, I literally feel like crying. Like the amount of pride that I have in my children when I see them like push, and I'm like a crazy athlete. Like I was an athlete my whole life, and even still, like I work out. Like I don't know. Like I every once in a while I'm like I might go run a marathon, and I'm like, yeah, Sophia, stop. Okay, stop being crazy. You are not that person anymore. But I feel so much pride in my children's achievements, and when I know that they're working at something in their sports, I'm just like, and I see it happen. I'm like,
I try not to cry. Like
she's been working on that for such a long time.
Yeah, and it's like I feel it in my bones. Like, and especially I can say like my oldest son's his senior year was like,
forget it. The senior years.
Oh my Lord.
You watched me do the senior year with my oldest.
Yes.
And I was like...
And you kept saying to me, like, Kim, get ready.
Kim, get ready. Because this is an emotional roller coaster.
And I was like, I'm fine. I'm okay. And watching him play his last varsity season, watching him, train for the season before it even started, how hard and everything. And then he was called captain, and watching him play in the quarterfinal, like it was just so much for me. Like I literally tried not to cry. I don't even know how many times, and I felt it in my gut. I felt it in my throat, and I was like, "Don't cry, don't do it, like don't do it. I don't want to be that mom."
Yeah,
but
I just throw the shades on, like
right, and then underneath the shades, you just see the tear.
If I have my sunglasses on, I'm invincible.
No one knows. But I'm that mom too. Like I feel like like if my kid's happy, he's happy, and if he's crying and like every loss that he takes, I feel that.
You handle those losses with him really well. Like I'm not so great at the losses.
In
my
the varsity season when they lost in I think it was the quarterfinal, I believe it was. That hurt my heart, my soul, my body. It was. Yeah, my daughter. I didn't even. I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna even lie. I became very depressed about it. I didn't get over it for like almost a week and a half, 2 weeks. I even went out to lunch with one of the other.
That's like half crazy.
Like my other group of friends, also have.
It's not even your game.
It's not. And
but
he was over it too. 3 days later, he was over it.
If you see me on the sideline, I might as well be in that game.
3 days later, he was over it. I was still stressing over it.
Well, you felt it for him. You know what it meant to him.
And then even in college, when they lost in the final. I was like, I cannot do this again. Like, why does this keep doing this to me? I thought this was supposed to get easier, and it just gets harder as he gets older.
Yeah.
You know, and then I have my 11-year-old who is just kind of like in the mix of starting that same, you know, route. And it's like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah, I think that like sport parents, we're like a cult of our own. Unless
are.
you're like a sport, like a soccer mom or basketball mom, like cheer moms are crazy too. Like, they're insane too. They get
nasty.
into it.
It gets rough.
But yeah, you know, it's all good times. And so our oldest children were in college.
Yes.
And we decided we're gonna take the younger ones to breakfast. And
well, it's kind of the only way we were able to.
We never do that. Like we were inventive. We were like really creative with that. We're like, let's take them to breakfast. Let's occupy them.
We
let's go to
thought it would
IHOP.
work. In our brain, it planned out very.
It looked so good.
It was just going to work out when we were there.
So we're like,
Definitely
all right, we're going to sit at a table. First off, they gave us a table that was way too small for us.
Definitely, because it was your 3 and my 1.
No, it was 2.
No,
I had my 2.
You had all 3 of them.
I didn't have all 3 with
me.
me.
Yeah, you did.
My oldest daughter? No.
Natalia was there. Yes, Tally was there. Camila, and you had the little one.
And then
because I had my 3-year-old.
The baby was with us.
I had the baby, but he's like a grown man.
Yeah.
Who makes up for like 5 people. So it was a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but we were just thinking we had to get out. We were struggling to write it down, to get it on get this podcast on paper. Okay, we were struggling because that's what life does to you. All right,
we couldn't find our schedule; just wasn't giving us that window.
Like, we're going to breakfast. I tried to be like assertive about it.
Yeah,
like, we're going to breakfast, and while the kids eat,
we're gonna do
this. While the kids eat peacefully on the side, which never happens. We're gonna take notes, which never happens. So I come in with a marble composition notebook.
Yeah, she was prepared.
I was so freaking studious that day.
I was sitting there, I was looking at her like, okay.
Yeah, and
deep down, I knew that was not going to work out how she thought it was. No, I'm prepared for that.
We did really good. I think we did good. Like we brainstormed. We like created like 12 freaking episodes for you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
In that horrendous breakfast
as our
experience.
2 younger ones fought over dinosaurs, mind you, we're not talking about like miniature. They were like life size.
That's my fault. Also.
Do you remember? All right. So guilty, right? Her daughters were like, don't go get, because he's like, go get it in the car. And her daughters were like, don't do that. Don't do that. And she's like, no. And then he kept just going with it. And she's like, all right, fine. Yeah. She goes to the car. I'm thinking it's like, a normal size. She comes back in with this huge ass dinosaur.
That thing is like 2 feet tall.
And I look, and it roars.
Yes.
And I look at her, and then she goes, guys, just don't let it roar. Okay, right. You're going to tell a 3-year-old, stop it. Like, them little ones are not, and every time they roar, they look at us.
Like, I was so focused on, like, we need to brainstorm about the podcast. We need to brainstorm about, like, I don't know why, because, like, we just talk about it and, like, it happens. But, you're nervous. You're starting something new. You want to make sure everything's legit. Yeah. And, so there was a dinosaur roaring in the background, and we were taking notes. And
we got it done, though.
We did get it done.
We did.
The best part about that is that we wrote out like a solid 12 episodes.
We definitely did.
Of, broke it down. We were like, it was so good. It was so beautiful. And I don't know where that fucking book is right now.
We were so excited about it. And I think yesterday we talked about it, and we were talking about like today. And then I'm like, she goes, I can't find the book.
No,
Kim.
You were like, are you bringing the book? And I was like, no.
And then literally just before, I'm like, did you ever find the book? She's like, no.
No.
I'm like, oh. Okay, so all our hard work just went out the window.
No,
she's like, no,
it's here.
It's here. It's here. She goes, I'll just let you know. No, like,
we'll do it again. We'll write it down again. We got it.
But I promise
I'll write it down again. Yeah. But now, like, we learned how to do all this electronic stuff. So that's great.
You did.
I learned how to do electronic stuff. So I'm so bad with technology.
She's not tech savvy at all.
But I'm learning. In this. We
had an episode like 5 minutes ago. You trying to update. So she's trying to update like her notes on her phone, and we share it, right? And she's like, yeah, it's updated. I'm like, I don't see it. She's like, no, you did. I'm like, no, not at all. And she's like literally like debating with me how.
No, I was like, take my phone because I don't know.
And then she's like, just come out of it, go back in. And I'm like, Sophia, it is not updating. Like, give me your phone. So I grab her phone and I'm like, what is happening? I know what's happening. It's not updating because she has it in airplane mode. And I'm like, it has no service, Sophia. And she goes, oh.
Yeah, do that,
fix that. And I'm like, bro.
That's why I have you.
That's all right.
That's, you know, listen, we all have our things that we're good at, okay? And I know where I fail.
Listen,
and
I learn a lot from my kids. My 11-year-old, he actually teaches me a lot about technology.
I mean, my girls make great videos. I should ask them.
I need to learn how to do that too. I'm not great at that.
But that's what we have Anna for.
Thanks, Anna.
Yeah, so we braincast. That's not the word I wanted to use. We brainstormed, and we can't wait to bring you guys this.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, and we want to be interactive with you guys. So anything you want us to kind of touch on, if we touch a topic and we're not hitting it long enough, let us know. You know, like.
Yeah,
we want to serve you.
That's what we're here for.
In what really is going to be best here for our listeners as well as for us, you know, because everything you do in life is a learning experience.
Yeah, no matter how old you are,
you always have to be willing to like learn and get better.
Yeah, be receptive to it and you know be able to take it in.
Yeah,
even if it's a tough criticism, sometimes tough criticisms are the best way to learn. Believe it or not. So yeah, so like anything, you know, whether we're here to help you. You learn something, relate, or even if you guys are looking for advice, and maybe we can try to find that out for you. Listen, that's what we're here for. So we're excited for this new venture.
Yeah,
and hope everyone's on the same page, and should be fun.
Yeah,
good times, and then we'll have our days or we'll have our episodes where. May be a little emotional.
Yeah. You know, I think it's really important for us to also touch on the topics that are not often discussed.
I would say the ones that nobody wants to talk about.
And are difficult to talk about.
And
the only reason why we're even able to have those conversations is because just like everyone else, we experience them.
Right.
You know, and there are some things that we've been through that are very difficult. And are going to be hard to talk about for us.
Right.
So I think it's important that we have professionals of their craft here with us
Give
to
their
tackle those topics and really let everyone know like you are valid, your story is valid, what you're going through, and that brings us to our next episode.
Our next episode, yes,
which is a huge thing for us.
Right, because that's what I
am legit who I am today because of probably the toughest experience of my life was becoming a mother at 19 years old.
Yeah, well, I would say so. I mean, granted, I feel like I had my mom there when that happened because I was also, when I got pregnant with my oldest, I was 18.
Same, yeah.
And I turned 19. Actually, I was in labor on my 19th birthday. Even though my mom was there to help me, it was still for me learning because I was, I graduated high school and I was trying to go to college and now I have a whole new person that I have to take care for.
Right.
And stop for a second because obviously it's hard. But even though you have some support, it's still something that makes you a whole different person, like a whole woman, a whole mother, a whole different breed.
And not everybody has the support. And I have to say, like, yes, we both were very fortunate to have mothers that stood by us during a very difficult time. But
you still got to figure it out on your own.
You do.
Because mom's not going to always be there.
Yeah, you do have to figure it out.
Being a teen mom.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. That goes into also being a mom in general as a woman older.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be our next
week. We can't wait to see you guys here. I will say, if you know someone who is a teen mom,
yes.
If you know someone a teen that is currently pregnant, share this show with them because even if you're not current, even if it's not a current teen mom situation, you're like us, I'm
even
going,
if you were one, and that's
I'm going into my 40s now, into the 40s. And I carried that stigma and that title of teen mom, I think, way too long. But I carried a burden behind it. And I think it's really important that we talk about that. And like, as a teen mother, you are just as valid and you are just as great of a mother.
Doesn't make you less of a woman.
No.
Or anything,
at that time. And, it's kind of balanced out for me over the years. I think you probably experienced 100%. The same. But when you're in the thick of it, it's like a black hole, and it is really difficult.
It's hard to get out and find your way out, and
but the help is there, the support is there. You
Believe
just
it or
have to
not,
know
you
where
might
to
even
look
get
for
the
it.
support from people you never even thought would help you.
Yeah.
So, again, if you know anyone who is pregnant, who was pregnant when they were a teenager, whether it's 13 to 19, because that's your teen years, right? Let them know. We're here. We would love to hear from everybody.
Tune in. I think it's just a very special topic to us.
It is.
It's special. It's very special to me to just talk about.
I feel like it's molded us to be the mothers we are today.
Yeah. There's I kind of feel semi-emotional right now, even just talking about it. But people around me at that time thought that I was making the worst decision of my life.
Of course.
And my daughter literally saved my life. And it's an amazing thing. So.
Yep. And I feel like, our kids being such young in age, yet we're young teen moms.
Yeah.
And we're young moms even now. I feel like
we were young moms, and we're still young moms.
We're still young moms considering. And
I'm still young.
I mean, I say it all the time. I mean, I get called my son's sister, and he looks at me like, she is not my sister.
Yeah.
She is my mother. But it's a bond on, and it's not that you have favorites with your kids either, but it is a bond that with your oldest, your first, and you have
it's a little different.
It's different.
Yeah. Oh my God. My kids are going to hear me say that, and they're going to be like, I knew it.
Yeah, I know. No. They'll be like, I know he was your favorite. No,
everyone,
it's not that.
My kids definitely say my little guy is my favorite, but that's okay.
But
so we can't wait. We'll be back.
We're super excited. Next week.
And we're going to talk about becoming a teen mom and navigating through that.
The trials and tribulations.
The greatness behind being a teen mom.
Yes, 100%. We're here for you guys.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Thank
and we can't wait to see you next week.